Hey guys, this is App Reviewer. Today we'll be taking a look at the casemate Barely There for the Samsung Galaxy S3. You can pick this case up on the casemate website, which is www.case-mate.com for $25, and it comes in 6 different color models. It comes in the black that we have right here. It also comes in glossy white, lipstick pink, also in metallic silver, which is actually a glossy finish. This one is matte right here. Comes in turquoise blue and violet purple. So you can see the case right here. It's a simple snap on the back case, just made out of plastic completely. Has a matte finish on the back. Covers the sides and the back of your phone, but not the top and the bottom. So I quickly want to show you how saturated this market is for snap-on cases by bringing out these two right here. So you can see here's the SGP Ultra Thin. We're going to take a look at that soon. And the Rear Rinky Slim Light that we took a look at previously. So the manufacturers are really trying to win you over based on design, style, and aesthetics overall. So you can see some cases are a little bit more slimmer, some offer more protection, some have a matte coating, some have glossy. So they're really going all out to try to win you over. So I'm going to try to cover all the main points on all these different cases in my upcoming review. So this case right here, like I mentioned, has a matte coating on the back. You've got cutouts for your camera, volume rocker, everything pretty much is open, nice and exposed because it's such a thin case. So you can see matte finish on the inside as well. It's actually pretty grippy, which I love. But like I mentioned, it's pretty similar to some other cases. So we're going to take a look at how it installs and also how it differentiates from these other cases. So like most snap on the back cases, this one is super easy to install, and all you have to do is start off through the left hand side of the volume rocker and just snap it into place, and you get a nice tight clicky fit, which I love. So it makes the phone feel very solid. It makes it feel like it's one piece. There's no real air gap between the case and the phone, so it's one rock solid piece all around and it feels fantastic. Now you can see on the back you have a slight matte finish. It does get a little bit of fingerprints and grime, but it's not too bad, and you can wipe that off with a little bit of water. On the bottom you've got the casemate logo. It's a little bit subtle, so no problems with that. Right up here, you've got 3 cutouts for the camera, flash, and also the speaker. Nice and ample. I've had no problems with that whatsoever. On the left and right hand side, you've got some very ample cutouts for the volume rocker and also the power button that work just fine. Very clicky and responsive, nice to press, and I've had no problems with those. No difficulty whatsoever, as you can tell. Now on the top and the bottom I've had a little bit of an issue because it does show off a little bit of the chrome, which is kind of usual for these cases. As you can see right here, we've got the Rear Rinky Slim Light, and that shows off a little bit more of it, so this one's sort of a tighter fit on it, which I like, but it still shows it off a little bit, so that might get scratched up over time. You've got a very nice and precise cutout for the headphone jack, and also your microphone is exposed. Same thing goes on the bottom. Nice rounded cutout for the micro USB, and your microphone is fine as well. So on the front, you got a very slightly on the table design, not really enough to protect from a drop, but enough that lets you put your phone face down onto a surface without real issues. And I've paired this up with an ultra optic screen protector, and that works fine as well. So you can see all around, this won't provide much protection, but it does have a nice thin form factor, very slim and form fitting, and this will slide in and out of your pocket very easily. So as I mentioned before, this case will offer little to no drop protection, and the reason for that is clear, because it's made out of plastic and it's super thin. So the plastic itself doesn't absorb a lot of shocks, and what it does basically is just scatter them throughout the phone. So if you drop it on a corner, instead of just absorbing the shock like a TPU case would, it'll actually spread around the phone. That can cause some more damage, which is something I'm not a big fan of with these cases. So if you plan on getting a case like this, you have to be someone that's either careful with their phone or doesn't really go in dangerous situations where you could drop your phone. So overall, I'm pretty pleased with the case. Like I mentioned, the scratch protection will be pretty decent. You got some back and side protection. The only thing exposed is the top and the bottom, which like I mentioned will be prone to a little bit of scratching. So I quickly want to bring out the Rear Rinky Slim Light case, just because even though this case is fantastic and I've really got nothing bad to say about it, I can't recommend it just because this one right here is nearly half the price. So I want to quickly run by some of the differences so you can see actually how close they are and how similar they are. So you can see they both feature matte finishes. The camera cutouts are a little bit different. This one has a little bit more of an opening, and this one has it a little bit more tight. On the top, the Rear Rinky Slim Light case offers a little bit more exposure, whereas this one's a little bit more tight, which I like on the Barely There. Bottom, same thing goes. A little bit more coverage on the Barely There. On the inside, you've actually got the leather pad on the Rear Rinky case, whereas this one is just basically smooth throughout, which is no major difference, not a real problem or con with that. Now left hand side, pretty much identical. Right hand side, pretty much identical. But the biggest difference with this one comes in the price point and also how slim it is. Like I mentioned, The Barely There case is just a tad slimmer than the rear Srinky case, so if you do want to pay those extra 12 bucks just for a little bit of slimmer case, you can definitely do so. But honestly, I recommend you go for the rear Srinky Slim Light case because it's really worth it at the $13 price point. You can't go wrong with it, and even though, like I mentioned, I'm a fan of the casemate Barely There, I can't justify spending $25 when you've got such a good alternative right here. So anyways, guys, I hope that you found this video informative. Overall, like I mentioned, this case is not bad. Barely There is a thumbs up, but the rear Srinky is just so much cheaper and so much more identical to it. So anyways, I appreciate you watching this video. I hope you comment, like, and subscribe. And I also want you to stay tuned for some more of my videos. Next video review will be the Ultra Optics screen protector from SGP for the Galaxy S3. So anyways, guys, thanks again. Stay tuned for more. Cheers.